from wherever you are, and welcome to Let's Play Games. I'm John McFarland, Adult Services Librarian for National Public Libraries, and I hope you'll join me in learning or discovering about some of the more common and uncommon games out there. Last time, we talked about tabletop role-playing games. We talked about D&D. We set up characters. We outfitted them. And between Nika, Arteloth, and Sven, we're now going to venture into the world of Phandalin. Let's get stuck in. So I described last time that these characters are transporting some goods down a particular well-traveled road. And in front of it is Gundren and Sildar, two people who are paying you for your expedition down to Phandalin. Some of you have reasons to be there. Some of you are just along for the ride and getting some coin. We now return to that already in progress. You've been on the Tribor Trail for about half a day. As you come around a bend, you see absolutely nothing but continued trail. The road is slightly bumpy. It's quiet. It's a clear day, around mid-morning. Is there anything you all have been doing for this half a day?
Hey, Gundren, you said that these mines that are near Phandalin, you sold gemstones, right?
So Gundren's well ahead.
Oh, he's well ahead.
Yeah.
He traveled
we'll
ahead
work
with
that.
Sildar.
But he's a little bit ahead of you. So
Who would be near me then?
these two would be the only ones with
Oh,
you.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, though, you can make a performance check to see if he even hears you.
Yeah. I'll make a performance check and see. Yeah, I'm shouting this across the up above the trail then. 13?
All right, now I'm going to see how well I perceive this. You carry your voice out. Doesn't appear to hear you. You can actually see a little bit with your passive perception. They're kind of really engaged in this conversation. I'll say they're hunched over together at a fairly close range.
Okay. I'll look to Arteloth then. I never got a clear answer. I don't even know if I'm headed in the right direction.
I don't know if we're headed in the right direction either.
We are heading south. That's the right direction.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
okay. Well,
Reach into my bag, grab one of the dice that I have in my dice set, and I'm just gonna try and see if I can throw it at them to get their attention.
You're more than welcome to do so.
I don't think it's going to be useful.
It might not, but you know. So as you're journeying on, it's a slow journey, and you've noticed over time that they've gained a little bit of distance on you. It's almost like they've picked up the pace, and they were specific about this cart's structural integrity to not go above a certain little speed, because otherwise you might have to carry it all the way to Phandalin, which you would not enjoy. So after another maybe hour or so, you turn another corner. As you come around this bend, you spot two horses, which are lying flat. Definitely not at walking pace. They're sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, and they're now blocking the path. So let's see. Grab this pen here.
I just imagine Nika is the one driving the cart, and she says, whoa, got some trouble ahead.
So they're like here and here, and they're now blocking this path.
mm-hmm.
Each of these, and I'll give this to you with your passive perceptions, each of these has several black feathered arrows that are sticking out of it. The woods press close to the trail here, with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. What do you do?
Yeah, Nika's gonna hold up a hand and say, "Hey, you all see the arrows sticking out?"
Yeah.
Yeah, what could that mean?
Normally that means that there are archers.
Yeah, bandits of some sort. You all stay in the wagon. I will go and take a closer look. And I kind of reach back into the cart and put the great axe onto my back as I leap off the cart.
Okay. You
take
land
the
with like a
reins.
small boom. Some dust actually kicks up as you land. So you can go ahead up to those horses and give me an investigation check.
Okay. Is it possible to do a survival check? I'm less looking at the horses. I'm more looking around them to see if there's any tracks
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
and to try to get numbers on how many bandits we might be dealing with. First roll of the game, natural 1.
Yeah.
Plus 3 is a 4. It's been a long trek.
Yeah.
It's been a long trek, and this area has not seen rain for a particular time. So as you get dust, you actually are like kind of looking around, and you're creating your own tracks. So anything you would have seen, you're now creating your own path.
I'm now going in a circle around the horses, following
Winnie the
my
Pooh
own
style,
tracks.
yeah.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh style.
They're coming up behind you. I see the tracks.
We have to look out. They're growing in numbers.
I will tell you that you do easily see, this is readily apparent, that the saddlebags that were on the side that you saw Gundren and Sildar, they took great care to pack in very efficiently. They have been looted. Stuff has been strewn about. In particular, notably, a leather map case. It has been broken in half.
I think that catches Nika's eye, even with the very low roll that I just gave, because with my background, I'm an outlander, which means I have an excellent memory for maps and geography. So I'm really great at, mapping out an area, figuring out where nature begins and civilization ends, and where the two meet. So I'm gonna walk up and pick up that scroll, that kind of map case, and just give it a look over.
Okay. What kind of look over you wanted right here?
Seeing did the map get torn out of here? Is the map still in it and it just got broken in the melee, or what happened?
Make an investigation check for me.
All right, can't be worse than my last roll.
I mean, it can match it.
It can.
I can match it. Did you roll another one?
I rolled another nat 1. I told you, the Matt Mercer effect. Anytime I'm a character, I roll terrible. And with my investigation, it is a -1. So, John, I've rolled a 0. I kicked up a lot of dust.
It
You
hurt
did.
itself
You
in
really
confusion.
did. Some of it's going
Created
into.
a
And this is,
whirlwind.
by the way, part of the experience. These skills that we've rolled, we're putting our hands in the math dice.
Yep.
Things are not going well
This one's
for Nika. That's
It's going away.
dice jail.
Dice
Dice
jail.
jail.
I think
Yeah.
it's time.
The dice skull.
Dice
These
roll.
are the little things that we do. I'm adding flavor text for their experience of the world. They're getting to interact with this world. And interaction is going to take special meaning right now.
Uh-oh.
He's taking too long. I wonder if there's something wrong.
I don't like it.
I'm still walking in a circle with the map
I think he
scroll.
might be lost.
And that will be, as you both kind of sit and talk about that, you hear,
Uh-oh. Not good.
She's taking too long. Apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking too long.
an arrow coming out of the thicket clips your ear. For 3 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
As this happens, you all see a black feathered arrow just dart through and land perfectly into the dust, kicking it up.
I told you, archers.
This is this is gonna happen.
This is happening.
Yeah, pulling out the great axe, looking into the brush.
Nika, as you can understand this language,
Oh no.
you hear, attack, engage! Everyone roll initiative, please.
I hate it.
Hey. 16.
16 rollies.
9.
I think you would go first because I have 0 dexterity.
Yeah, I do outclass you there. Sorry.
Right, and we are...
I was just maintaining Blade Ward, by the way. I'm just kidding.
The whole time, the whole
You're just,
ride.
like holding.
It's just goblins. I got it.
It's a cantrip. I
Y'all
was just
stay in the car.
continuously casting Blade Ward.
Oh gosh.
All right. So, what was yours?
16.
16. Yours,
16, but I have the higher dexterity between the two of us.
16. I'm gonna put a little arrow in front of it. What was yours?
9.
9.
Good old 9.
All right, and we're gonna now for our new friends.
Good thing you have 50 feet of movement. Oh wait, is that gone now that you're level 1?
I'm 30.
Back to 30.
Back
Oh
to
no.
30.
No,
Still got a shield.
Such a tease, John, giving us level 5 for the encounter before, and now we're
I
back to
mean,
level 1.
I had to have some fun with it.
It's true.
So what I'm doing here is now that we're going to move to combat. We've already experienced a little bit of that environmental adventuring. Now I'm going to create a list of who gets to go first.
It's usually called the initiative order, right?
Usually.
And when we're rolling initiative, it really takes, you roll the d20 and you add your initiative bonus to the roll. It's typically just calculated by your dexterity score that we talked about earlier. But in some special cases, I know for Monk and maybe Rogue, there's some additional bonuses that get added to that dexterity bonus. Typically, or that initiative bonus. Typically not at level 1 though, right?
No, I get that later.
Later on, yes. But right now, not so much.
And you can do this in a myriad of ways, but what I do is I add a little bit over the screen to tell me the turn order and also give the players the initiative tracker as well. Just so as we're playing, people can think about what they're going to do and know when it's their time to go. Thankfully, you all are neatly together. So this one, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just for indication. So 4 is going to make another ranged attack.
Gross.
And that is, and what I have on my side is the AC number, and the number that I know that they need to hit. And that misses.
Good.
You can decide to tell them what the number is. You can decide not to. It's part of the experience. For now, I'm not going to, just to tell you that it misses. Just to avoid my self-embarrassment when I start rolling terribly. Now, Arteloth, I'm going to say in this moment, you two at least get off the cart.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have to like spend an action to disembark the cart.
Okay.
So you are right there, right? So
Yeah.
what you going to do?
Okay, so I think.
And I'll actually go ahead and move you up to this leg. This will be the,
the starting
point.
Okay, that does kind of change. 'Cause
I am in
then
the back though.
I will get right up next to Nika. Yeah. I'm not in range yet, but that's I think that's my entire movement was that move. That should have been
What's
full
your
30.
What's your speed?
30.
Could you do a diagonal and get in melee?
Yes, diagonal would be melee.
Okay, so I'll take that, and I will do a single unarmed strike at combatant. Okay, that was actually really good. 23.
Ooh.
20. Oh yeah, that hits big time.
Yeah.
What's that like, rolling well?
I can't help you.
There's more numbers than 1 on the dice.
So you're kind of like preparing, kicking up some dust, and you just go straight for the gut, and
Yeah.
you make center mass contact.
I do, and it is going to be 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
4 points of bludgeoning damage. So you hear just a as it gets almost like knocked back, but it takes it. But you can tell that you really knocked the air out of this goblin. Anything else with your turn?
Since I am unarmed, I can bonus action attack again. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I shall. We're going to try and see if I can't duplicate that. 22.
Oh, that hits.
And that is max damage for me. So
Ooh.
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
So in one fell swoop, you see the gut punch, and then you go for that second little uppercut, and you hear, you toss it into the air, and it just lies flat. You've completely taken it out.
Yes. Big
Nice.
punch.
At this point, I remove that from play, and we get to shrink that little initiative order, and that removes one of our combatants, makes it real easy. So at this point, anything else with your turn?
End of my turn. Full movement, full action.
Not
bonus.
bad for a start. Nika, I will go ahead and tell you that this is the one that hit you.
Okay.
Just for context.
Yeah, so I realize we're somewhat surrounded by these ranged attackers. So in Nika's mind, having already taken a hit and seeing that previously outnumbered, now more equal, she's still going to play it cautious because
Okay.
she doesn't know if reinforcements are coming or not.
Okay.
So she's actually going to use a bit of her speed to get between the two horses'
Okay.
bodies. And she's actually going to use half her movement to drop prone.
Okay.
In the meantime, she is going to get a javelin ready for her next action, and she's going to lay a hand on her chest and use 3 from her lay on hands pool
Okay.
to gain back the hit points of damage that I took with my ear. I guess instead of on my chest, I would actually be grabbing my ear and mending that wound with my divine healing energy.
So you all see this teal glow, and you see the cartilage from the ear just slowly repair itself.
And now that I'm laying prone, both a mechanic in game and out of game, taking cover behind the horses, but also laying prone will give the attackers disadvantage on their ranged attacks against me.
Yeah, it makes it a little harder to hit. Anything else with your turn?
I believe that's all I can do.
I think so, but I always like checking in case I forgot something.
Thank you.
All right, Sven, go ahead.
So am I within 60 feet of any of these targets here?
Oh, for sure.
believe so.
You're in 40-ish feet of here. So 10, 20, 30,
What about this
40,
one here?
50, 60. I will say, here's a yes, but.
Yeah.
Artaloth is in the way of that one, and I'll go ahead and tell you that this one's blocking the way of this one, and it is in partial cover because it's still kind of in the thicket.
I got you.
You don't have lightning bolt yet?
Yeah, I was like,
not on-
I gave you a line. There's a line.
I just left the school.
That is fair.
So with that case, and knowing that Artaloth is slightly obscuring the goblin that I wish to hit, can I take partial movement to move 15 feet into a diagonal to see this one? So
1, 2, 3.
yeah, something like that.
Excellent. So they're still partially obscured because you're kind of looking into the thicket. Give me a perception check real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can make people roll to see whether they see something.
That's a 6, John.
You're not really seeing it, I'm afraid. You can see number 2 over here.
Okay.
And I'd say you could just barely make out him down there.
But also in partial cover for the further one.
That number 2 here is not in partial cover though.
Okay. I'm going to take the easy target then.
Okay.
And take the focused on the end of my arcane focus that I mentioned before on the end of my quarterstaff.
Okay.
And start to coalesce a beam of ice and do a ray of frost
All right.
against that target.
Cool. And with Ray of Frost, I believe
It's an attack roll.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a spell attack roll. So roll my d20. That's a 13 plus 5, which is my spellcasting modifier.
And the spellcasting modifier is the important part here because that 13 alone would not hit, but we're using the stat and the skill of this spell that you have learned in order to successfully hit. Go ahead and roll damage, please.
Alrighty, so that is just 1d8 of damage. I can grab it.
And
There we go.
depending on, these do not have really high HPs. So
So it's 3 damage,
3 damage.
3 cold damage in particular.
Okay.
It also now has a reduced speed of 10.
Cool. So this goblin speed is normally 30 feet. It's now 20 feet. Is that permanently until end of turn?
Reduced until the start of my next turn.
Start of your next turn. Perfect. All right. So you hear this frozen element that hits their shoulder. They have a sword in their hand, but they're left-handed. Sorry. You didn't hit that one, but you hit the other one. So we've done a little bit of work here. Anything else with your turn?
No, I'm just going to stand scared.
Stan's
Right in front of you. It'll be fine.
Unless, can I take the rest of my movement back to the cart?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to take the rest of my movement back to the cart and
Perfect.
not be able to hide, but that's the intention.
Probably crouch behind
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wheel or something.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. So number 3 is going to make a ranged attack and try and go for Nika, seeing that great sword. But because it's at disadvantage, what I rolled was an 18 and a 10.
We like the 10.
And from here, what we do is the same way that you have a modifier, your opponents have a modifier. Their modifier is +4. So at 14, this is where the fun math comes into play. Your armor class is 16.
16.
It misses.
Yes. Glad
So-
I didn't go with breastplate.
Yeah.
Very good idea. So this one's going to try and come into melee range.
Just barely.
The downside of going prone is it gives melee attackers advantage.
And this one is going to hit.
Oh,
So
I
this,
thought they all had bows.
you see just around the horse, there's just a moment where they
Yeah.
make eye contact with you and you see them like this as they make a slash. And it's going to deal 7 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
So at level 1, there's some risk here. It can hurt.
Yeah,
But
that hurt.
that is their turn. We're back to number 4, who's going to make another bow strike, and they're going to try and make it at Ardaloth here. That misses.
Haha.
Ardaloth is actually to you.
Okay, can I get right next to this one that has come up on our lovely paladin friend?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Which I have,
Flank.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because they would be engaged with me, right? 'Cause
prone.
they attacked.
They're engaged with you, even though you're prone. They're definitely like focused hard on
Yeah.
you. So yeah, I'd
Okay.
say you have flanking.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Sometimes you can give puppy dog eyes to your GM and it works.
What we got?
12, which I think is a miss.
12 indeed misses. Like you're kind of trying to take a little revenge strike there, and you just aim a little improperly, so you just pop the side of the armor.
Not, yeah. And I do still get the bonus action since I did take an attack
Yes.
action.
Yes.
Oh, that is much better. That gives me 21.
21. That definitely hits.
21.
21. And another max damage.
Ooh,
We love to see it.
yes.
7 points.
And that's exactly.
Oh, nice.
So
Leave
you're
healer
like,
alone.
you're like, no, not today.
Absolutely not. I don't believe.
And then
in
when it
doing
falls, like you just see my face with this big gash across it, like, thank you.
that. If I could heal, I would.
All right. So anything else with your turn?
I think that is it for me.
And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this one in particular is now lying unconscious.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that that was noted.
Okay.
All right. What you now see is, in a moment, you hear a flurry of thicket movement.
No.
Suddenly it goes quiet. What you hear is, oh, we got to report this one back. There's reinforcements. And it goes quiet. And then we've got the unconscious one here.
Can I try to get a javelin shot at one of them as they run away?
Sure, go ahead.
And they're beyond 30 feet, so the attack will be at disadvantage.
Yeah.
So with a javelin, its range is 30 feet. slash 120 feet. So if I throw the javelin within 30 feet, it's just a normal attack roll. If I try to aim for anything past that, I'm just doing a Hail Mary at that point, up to 120 feet. And I'm going to roll at disadvantage because of that. 17 on the first roll.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Oh, 6 on the second roll, which brings me to an 11.
You take out a branch.
So proud.
I hate branches.
You take out this branch, but it disappears.
Yeah, Nika's just standing up and cursing the goblins and spits on the goblin on the ground.
All right. So we are now out of initiative. So what happens now?
I'm gonna reach down and like just grab the back of the goblin's neck and lift it, and just be like, can you heal this?
I'm gonna use one of my lay on hands pool, leaving me one last.
What are you doing? Don't bring it back to life.
How are we going to get information out of it if it doesn't talk?
So is that what you do?
Yeah, even as Sven is saying that.
You're like, no, wait.
From back there, yeah, as you're running up to us, I'm like kind of rolling my eyes and put my left hand back on the goblin's chest and pump a hit point.
And as a DM, you can absolutely allow take backsies. Sometimes you may find that some of the rules don't always necessarily work exactly as intended. There's the commentary of rules as written. Honor the spirit of the rule, because there's no point in sitting here thumbing through a book trying to figure out what the intent is. If you make it sound cool, I'm gonna let you do it as long as it's feasible. Cool. So the goblin, you're still like holding it by the, is it like that?
Like the scruff of the neck, yeah.
Okay. So the goblin.
And the sword, like if the sword was still in hand, I would have for sure taken it away before adding.
I would think if it's unconscious and I've
Yeah,
lifted
had
it,
dropped
the sword would
everything.
be on the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not
Just
holding
wanted to
anything.
make sure that this thing isn't
Valid.
Armed.
armed.
No, definitely unarmed and in a compromising position. As they can kind of.
I say in Goblin, where are the two that were on these horses?
I need you to make
Intimidation.
whichever charisma style check you prefer.
Intimidation.
Well, I mean, you've got to be. I am
Is that a
holding
third
it.
one?
You're holding by the scruff of the neck, so I'll give it to you with advantage
Anyone
because
have a
they're
D20 I can
Sure.
use?
Do you have a
They're
preference?
they're in a compromising position there.
Want a red one?
Yeah, sure. I'll take whatever I can get.
Go for it.
Nat 1 plus 3, 4 on my intimidation.
Okay, roll the other one.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm giving you
here's
advantage because
being-
you have them.
3 plus 3, 6.
Better than the one.
I'm bleeding a lot, so like the blood's running into my mouth. I'm
I
just
was
like,
hoping since it was.
blah, 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 blah.
Steady improvement.
Yeah.
So
I'm like spitting out blood as I'm talking. As I also lay a hand and use my last lay on hands hit point to give me at least 1 point back.
okay, cool. So what I'll say is it will give advice on what the difficulty class is. Based on the circumstances, a 6, they're just scared enough to be like, can you let me down, please? I will tell you. Just, it really
You will
hurts.
be let down when you tell us where our companions are.
Okay. Would it actually help if I told you through the woods and over a river? Technically speaking.
To grandmother's house?
To a cave. To Clark's cave.
Which direction?
Okay.
Let me down and I will point my...
You can point while you are being held.
Your friend froze my arm. I need the other one.
I did do that. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of fair. It is
Like
happening.
one arm is completely frozen in place. The other is like dangling and it looks like it's not really able to move that
Part
well
of me
right
wants
now.
to take the arm and just go, yeah, now point. Okay, my friend is going to turn in a circle. You tell them when
I'm
to
not
stop.
turning in this. I'm not doing. And I'm just set the goblin down and keep my hand on the back of the throat. and just be like,
I
here
was
you go.
making a
That's
compass.
No.
So you see them like dart their head slowly is like that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way. Stop. And points like right here.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
If that's well, it's Clark, but it's King Groll.
King Groll?
King Groll. I think that's who's still there. If Groll's not there, Clark definitely is.
Clark?
Clar. He said
Clark.
Clark.
K-L-A-R-G.
I spelled it right. Nice. This almost never happens to me.
Weird way to spell clock.
Yeah, it's
Nika's just going to call them Clark.
okay.
Sorry.
Well, when we go find Clark Kent,
So you also hear him say, they're really, really excited about the thing in that. What's the word for the findy? The findy
finding
the
a
findy
map?
paper thing.
A map?
A map. Yes,
They're
they're
look-
really excited about that.
A map.
Oh, yes, I found a destroyed case, and Nika lifts it up.
Yeah, the black spider's really been looking for that.
Black spider. Wow. So, any other information you want to give us? I mean, wow, it's really giving you loose lips here.
If you want,
I say in common, and then back to goblin.
if you, I hear what I understand common too. Oh, says in perfect common.
Oh crap, I say in orc.
And I just stand there and I respond, I have no idea what you're saying in Infernal.
And?
primordial.
Yes, didn't understand.
A friend is possessed.
Didn't understand any of that. Just go that way. There's a hideout. That's where they took your friends. Now, can I please go back into the wood? I will go the other way. You can watch me go the other way.
Oh, thank you, goblin friend. And as I pat them on the head, kind of, just, I'm going to do a non-lethal bonk.
Make an attack roll
Oh no.
with advantage because they're still like in a compromised
They're
position.
restrained. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So that is for an unarmed strike.
Yeah.
21.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to
They
do
bounce.
1 plus my strength, so 3 points, but non-lethal damage to bonkify them back to unconsciousness.
So there's like these very pleading, sad puppy dog eyes.
Aww.
Right as you just
And I'm just gonna slowly drag them into the thicket on the side of the road, and I'm just gonna like lay them down
on the far side or near side.
far side.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna just like cross their arms and just pat
They
the little
take a
bit.
nap.
You take a nap.
So at this point, you have gotten the information that you wish. The thicket that they described is over here. I would say that if someone wants to give me a survival check to see if you can find this little fun, happy pathway.
It's a -2 for me.
Can I aid Nika?
Absolutely.
Aiding gives me advantage. So unless I roll 2 nat 1s, hopefully this will go better than last time.
Low DC.
Nice. An 11 and a 12, so I'll take the 12 plus 3 is a 15.
And the DC was 10, so you were fine.
Perfect.
Nice.
So you recognize this little pathway. It's just wide enough for a goblin to go through.
Nice.
And I will say, this time you don't track a pathway. You can see the pitter-patter of almost a dozen that have come and gone from this trail. And you can see some like drag marks that appear to be some human-sized foot that are dragged this way.
I think they took off friends this way. And before we go into the woods,
Yeah.
can we take like a short rest / secure the wagon? Because I'm still ouchy.
That's totally fine. So what they're going to do now is we're going to secure the wagon, make sure no one else steals it. This is a well-traveled pathway. And also, as a short rest, you can recover hit points with your hit die, which is a part of your character. So what's your hit die?
It is.
Couldn't remember if it was D10 or 12.
I want to say 12, but I'm pretty sure it is D10. It is a D10.
Okay.
So
it's
I get
D10.
to roll a D10 and add that amount of hit points back to my character. 9.
That's pretty good.
So that gets me back up to full.
So you can do this to a myriad of small tasks or anything the two of you do.
I am uninjured and have used no spells.
Same. So I'm just gonna. I mean, I'll take the time to try and secure the cart.
Okay, so like you're kind of recovering and feeling the damaged areas. The two of you are recovering.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Can I retcon that? Because I didn't think we would take a short rest. Can I retcon that very last hit point from my lay on hands that I gave to myself earlier to save it for whatever next battles we might get in?
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Very kind.
Benevolent, yeah.
Retconning, it happens sometimes when current events, as long as it's not too far back, roll with it. Pun kind of intended.
So during this rest, since I don't really need the rest right now, can I search the wreckage that Nico was searching before? And
sure.
just kind of, I'm looking for a general kind of map. It doesn't have to be like an X marks the spot or anything, just like something that I can familiarize myself with the area.
Give me an investigation check.
Absolutely. So
So like a
investigation.
general area map?
Yeah, just like a general area map.
Okay.
Yeah. So my investigation is one of my proficient skills.
Ooh.
So I get to add a +5, which is necessary because I rolled a 6. So 11 total.
This is pretty well looted.
Okay.
So I'd say there's like a pattering of like maybe 3 silver pieces that just like dropped out of a thing.
Okay.
But aside from that, no, not really.
No.
Yeah,
nothing.
3 silver is 3 silver.
And you can,
Money is
if
money.
there's nothing there, it doesn't matter how high you roll,
There's nothing there.
there's nothing there. So this is part of, you can do rolls that have 0 outcome if there's nothing there. So from this point,
Unless it's a chair in the middle of a room.
exactly.
And then we're going to be there
then
for an
something is
hour.
bad.
Yes.
Or a closed door.
Hour.
So from this point, you have the trail in front of you as a pathway you've secured. What do you want to do?
Let's be on alert as we move forward. I will follow the trail that I found.
Okay. So you're going to be in front. Okay.
I'll
Who's going to be?
I'll take the back so we keep our spellcaster in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
That
Just
sounds good.
I
Not that I'm
All right.
A little
have
excellent.
extra
safety
hit
sandwich
points,
we've
yes.
made.
safety
Yes.
sandwich. Should I freeze the goblin to the ground so it doesn't move?
No, I feel like it's a
like,
damage
there's
him
like
again.
behind
You're fine.
It's like, no, he will die.
They would not be doing great with death saves there.
Yeah, right.
So after about
Oops, murder.
Ignorance is murder.
about 10 minutes in, you're kind of like trudging through. I need you to make a perception roll for me, please.
Nice. That is 14.
14. Step, step, creak, 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 crunch, crunch. You see like branches, leaves. And you stop as you see a long strand that looks to be some silk rope that is hanging on the edge of a tree. And as you look down, you see rope in sort of like a crisscross X pattern. You are standing on the edge of this crisscross X pattern. Like one foot is on it, another step forward. Who knows?
And I like halt the group again.
What's going on?
Some kind of trap here.
It looks like a snare.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like look around. I'm gonna like back up, look around for like a hefty rock.
Okay, yeah, you can find it. Hefty rock, easy.
2 hours later. No.
No, you're good.
I would mold a rock before that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I pick up Sven and I'm like, oh shoot, sorry.
In fact, you pick up the rock and it's kind of like misshapen, and I just I do the cantrip mill to earth to kind of smooth it into something easier to throw.
Nice.
So-
Yeah, so do a little
Shot put.
shot put from about 10 feet back to make
Perfect.
sure there's enough space, and I like just plop the rock javelin style
And
into
it's,
the
you know,
snare.
you just little Kobe action going on. And you see
Nothing but net.
the rope flies up, and this snare trap instantly darts forward, and you see that it would be able to hold you among some other people. You've avoided.
I would say dodge the bullets, but I don't know what bullets are.
No, you would not.
We haven't faced
Dodge the
pirates
boulder.
yet.
You definitely dodge a boulder. That arrow earlier, however. So from this point,
Thanks for reminding me.
you got to rub salt in the wound. on occasion. So
I'll take it because you gave me my lay on hands back.
There we go. You get it's equivalent exchange. It's fine.
Exactly. Give and take.
So you
Full metal
continue down the pathway.
Next time that comes up, let me know. I can trigger things from afar.
Oh,
That's nice.
You continue
magic
on
man.
down the pathway. Give me another perception roll.
I should have done more wisdom. Hey, I'm rolling pretty swell though, so 13.
13. Crunch, crunch, crunch. As the leaves fall out, you find yourself. All of gravity is now pushing you down into this wide open pit. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Not good.
This gives you an opportunity to like catch yourself.
With my +0. Hey, but I rolled an 18.
And 18.
Nice.
So as you
Thanks for the diving.
You're welcome.
as you feel gravity, you have the slight wherewithal to be like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
Grab onto the other edge, and you are just long enough with your wingspan to be able to grab onto it. So you are now actually laying what would be considered prone, one foot on one side of this pit, the other foot on the other side of this pit. You can see it's about a 10-foot drop.
Guys, I've made the bridge. And like my muscles are like flexing, my arms are shaking. Help.
Which way do you want me to toss you? You want this way, or do you want to go across?
Go to other side and pull me up.
Okay, I will leave you on this side.
Well, looking around, is it just a matter of climbing through difficult terrain to get to the other side, or
You could go around it.
I can walk easily through difficult stuff. I've got rope.
Rope?
I can tie it onto something.
Anything. Just
I'll go.
As we just stand there like clocking it out.
craziest ab workout ever.
What's the
got
best
this.
way to do this? Well,
I think maybe.
Sweat is dripping into the pit, and you guys are like, well,
Well, the trajectory of this.
And if you take too long on certain decisions, you can force a roll. I could make you make another dexterity save. But I'd say it's fairly easy to just get your bearings. You can kind of grab onto something and climb out.
Can I do an athletics check then, since they're taking their time?
If you wish to, by all means, you're the one getting damaged.
Yeah, that's 22 athletics.
So you're like, this ab workout is not doing it. And you grab with your other arm and do just a strong push back with your push up.
Ooh.
And you are now perfectly all right. Now you're still on the first side of the pit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You're you can walk around.
Like you guys are on the other side with a rope and like a whole diagram.
I see that I'll mage hand around and like grab Nika from,
Yes.
from the shoulder and just
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I can just walk around now.
okay.
Thank you.
Softly in the distance, you see a light, an expansion of sunlight. It's about 50 feet away.
Let's get a little closer.
Should we be sneaky about this, or do we just?
I can try to be sneaky, but
If you want to do that, make a stealth check.
Okay.
maybe you stay here.
I'll stay here and guard the pit.
The pit's still there.
Make sure nothing comes out of the pit. I didn't fall in the pit.
It's a 16 for me.
16.
It's an 11 from me.
Oh, okay. And on my side, I also made a roll. So you see this expanse of light. It's a little after noontime. You come out to a soft thicket. It's very light grass. There is some strong forestry at the edge of this rock wall, there's a small little rivulet coming out of a cave mouth. And on the other side of that rivulet is another little thicket. It's a little higher. It's in between a thicket and a forest. And you find yourself seeing just a little stream that increases and decreases in flow out of the cave mouth. It is at this point that we have to do setup for the rest of this lovely dungeon encounter we're about to experience. So, 1 second. Let me get set up the map. And then, let's see what happens in this thicket. Welcome back. So we took a brief interlude because, as you can see here, I've set up a map, and this is where we get into the conversation about building specific areas with actual tiles if you have the space and the money for it. Or this is just some markers and covering it with some note cards. You can make a map out of just about anything. So this is actually the scale recreation. So each square is 5 feet. Everything is actually to scale for once, which is kind of nice.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
So a couple things that I also want to go over, since I will go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert, you're going into the cave. So I have to tell you a couple things for general feature standpoint. One, that the ceilings are very steep sloping ceilings, and they are somewhere between 20 to 30 feet above the floor. So you've got some headway, but it's still fairly high ceiling. There will be areas, thankfully all three of you have dark vision. That makes our world a little bit easier. If you didn't have dark vision, we'd discuss that. Dark vision is a very particular skill that a lot of adventuring characters have, and it allows them to see within what would be considered darkness up to a certain point. So here we'll be basically fine. Should be generally okay. There are areas of rock and gravel that we're going to go ahead and treat as difficult terrain.
Okay.
If you point to a particular place, I can tell you whether it's difficult terrain or not. Don't think I need to tell you. Oh, I'll go ahead and give you a little bit about the stream. It looks to be about 2 feet deep.
Okay.
About 2 feet deep.
And it's slow moving, so we are not going to consider it difficult terrain. So
Okay.
we should be good there.
And just get that socks wet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us begin. Following the goblin's trail and your near fall into the pit, you see a large cave opening in a hillside. You have traveled roughly about 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. So I'll go ahead and say it's late afternoon-ish, but it looks like midday because of the reflection of the sun on down. And yes, please hear what I say, that there is a slight reflection of the sun as though it is made of a strange, glowing, reflective type of rock. There is a shallow stream, which is in blue there in the center. It's flowing out of the cave mouth, and it's screened by these dense briar thickets, so that green that's at that edge turn. There is a narrow dry path that leads into the cave on the right side of the stream. It's just like a little mix there, but I've got to cover my note cards for reasons. So, first off, let me go ahead. Cool. What do you all choose to do?
Well, there's a pathway in, but I'm not going in there first.
I wouldn't expect you to. Do you want to go back and get our friend while I go forward?
Yeah, we could do that, but
Just Nika in the background in the thicket, like picking her nose, like waiting for you guys.
And I would say at this point you'd be able to just kind of like saunter up into the scene.
Is there any, looking around, there's no one at the mouth of the cave. There's no, like any of the goblins that we saw before.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 7.
I mean, the reflective light is a little much to adjust to after you've been in this really dense forest.
It's really bright.
Yeah, you don't notice anything.
I mean, it looks clear.
I suppose we could just go forward. I don't until we find something.
Yeah, I'll get Nika for that.
Okay.
What are you guys talking about?
Nika, come on.
Like a hush whisper or a hush scream.
Yeah, as you like move up behind.
Yeah. Hey, what's the plan? This is what the goblin was talking about, right?
I believe so.
yeah.
Cave, stream.
Do I need to re-roll survival to keep following the drag marks that we've been following on the trail to see if they lead into the cave? Or do I still hold my survival check from last time?
Let's have you do a fresh survival check.
I almost fell in a pit.
You got a little distracted
little
along the way.
topsy-turvy. All right. That's a 10.
A 10.
Total.
So what I'll tell you is that the drag marks end at, here, let me point out here, this, sorry, grab this. It ends about right here at these stream marks.
Oh, they drowned them.
If they drown them, let's get out of here.
There goes our gold. Well, we could check the stream to see if there's any gold.
So yeah, I guess I'm walking up a little bit closer and just kind of like looking. And I turn back. They end here. What do you guys think?
They must have crossed the stream, or potentially they did drown them, although that'd be impressive. So
We gotta take a look inside, right?
yeah,
At least.
I'll go in and try and see if I can't see anything like on the
gonna
opposite
sneak.
embankment. Yeah.
If you're gonna sneak, give me a stealth check, please.
I'll roll for the sneak. Oh, that's nice. 21.
21.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was a natural 19.
So what I'm going to do here, and I can
let's
explain this, if
let's
some
go.
character sees something and I don't want to tell the general party, I will either write a note or whisper straight into. So hold, please.
And as they go, I turn to you and I say, well, we kind of have two options here.
Yeah.
We can, wait, where did Arleth go?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, anyway, we have kind of two options. We
Okay.
could make noise and draw them out of the cave.
That's a good idea. We don't have to go anywhere, and they can
And
come
we
to
could
us.
create some kind of ambush. Or, yes, we could venture in stealthily.
Can I go back using my previous stealth check, or do I need to roll another one?
I'll let you go back.
Okay, I will head back, and I'm going to make
Ugh,
the best the best communicative eye look, and then look over to the entrance of the cave.
where
and
have
just
you been? What?
What?
Why are you pointing like that?
You're all idiots.
I'm an idiot. I don't know about this guy.
What's in there?
I don't think we're alone in this cave.
I didn't think so either.
They dragged people in there.
So I'm telling you, I blame there are people over there.
Oh, I've got a question for you. The wall between this edge of the cave and where you saw, how big was it? How thick was it?
How thick was the?
Like the
A
wall,
little thicket.
Yeah, how
Well,
thick was the thicket?
the actual stone wall.
Is it 1C or 2C?
Well, so like right here is like a
Four
thicket
seats.
of woods. So where are you trying to point to here?
So the actual stone wall at the entrance
Like
of the cave.
Right here and right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, looking into, like, around the corner, like the thickness of that wall.
Would I have been able to perceive that when I was over there?
I can mold stone in a 5-foot square. I'm wondering if I can bore a hole through the wall to look inside.
I would say it's reasonable to conclude that it's rather thick.
Rather thick? Okay.
Yeah.
2 C's.
More than 5 feet.
More than 5 feet. Gotcha.
4 C's.
4 C's.
Okay.
Well, I was just telling a wizard magic man that,
You can call me Sven.
okay,
No need to stand on ceremony here. Okay.
that we have kind of two options. We can either make noise and try to draw something out, or we could go ahead and head in and see if we can find our companions.
DM,
Yes.
That's not my name.
were I to turn around and scream at the top of my lungs,
Okay.
do I need to roll a performance to see how loud I am, or are we just going to give me
See,
stupid
I just
loud?
want the performance check because if you're going to do it, if you want to do it like that, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to do it, and I can roll for
Give
it.
me a performance check.
As we're talking about it, you just turn around.
I was like, that is a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
First nat 20
For just
for screaming.
performance is a +1, so 21.
Hey! DC was 21.
With my luck.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll initiative for me. If you don't
Okay,
mind.
cool.
All three of us?
Oh, yeah.
Yahoo!
Oh, great.
Nat 20!
Good.
There's your nat 20.
My metal dice have redeemed themselves. Well, I need to roll 2 nat 20s to make up for the 2 nat 1s.
There you go. All right. Let's see.
So that means my initiative is 20.
My initiative is 4.
Mine is 11.
You're still like, how thick is that rock?
Yes. Can
still
I
able
blow
to
a
You're
hole through that
really
rock?
distracted by the rock.
That
That's
or
very pretty rock.
You're just startled by the sound. I
Yeah,
just made.
that's more likely because you're already scared.
Yeah.
Because I was like, let me just give an
terrified.
almighty yop.
He's already shaking in his boots.
And it's actually
Now
going
it's
to work
quivering.
perfectly for the situation. So, what kind of sound are you making?
Generic battle cry, like just deep from the chest.
So you roar this battle cry.
Whoa, whoa. It scared me.
Nika,
Oh no.
you hear. Oh, they weren't lying.
I said, I'm gonna make a sound big.
Goblins.
Oh boy.
I heard it in Goblin, I'm sure.
Yes, you heard it entirely.
I say it
Goblin.
under my breath. Ah, goblins.
Yeah.
Okay. So, our friend here is gonna do, and because
Think up higher than 20?
so,
Goblins.
Excuse me.
How dare they?
so, Arteloth, you through the thicket have just enough perception time to see an arrow loosed. And
Okay.
you are
Cover my
feeling
ears.
your battle cry is returned with 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay. That hurt.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, they got your ear now.
Yeah, they came from my ear.
Owie.
So, Nika, it's now your turn.
Do we see where they are, or are they hiding from us?
You only saw an arrow come out of the thicket and straight into Arteloth's lower chest.
Okay. I then, because I don't have time for this, am going to draw my battle axe
Okay.
and charge into the thicket.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say that you're not going to be able to charge into this thicket without a significant... It'll be an athletics check with disadvantage. I will point out that you can probably see, let me move this here, there is over here a little bit of daylight, as it were, in terms of space.
So I could go around the
You
thicket.
could go around. yes.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets me into this space.
30 gets you into that space, so let me add these in.
Ooh.
You see this small, what we're going to refer to as a blind here.
They were ambushing us. They ambushed our ambush.
Well,
How are these goblins so smart?
how are they ambushing us when I told them where we were?
This is called pulling out the Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
So one of them is here. The other one I'm going to say is here.
Okay.
When
This is what you see.
When I got in, could I instead go straight for that one
Instead of to the
instead
side.
of where I put myself here?
So as you like turn the corner, give me a perception roll.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, I'd say you immediately see
Dope.
your like target acquired.
Sweet. Yeah. Hey, you shot my friend. Prepare to die. That is a 22 to hit with
Oh,
the
yeah.
battle axe.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Oh, right. Oh, D12. It's so heavy. Oh, 11 on the die plus
nice.
3 is 14 points of damage.
Thanks for
14
avenging
damage.
me.
Wow. No amount of Flex Seal will help here.
It's like imagining the really buff guys on TikTok who just
This
want,
is
like,
splitting the giant
wood.
piece of wood
Yeah.
with slashing damage.
Yeah.
As you make this slash, there's just like a cut across, and they just drop.
Yeah. It's just a mess now where a goblin once stood. And can I, as a bonus action, like give an orcish roar to this last goblin to make them try to run away? Just to,
You're trying to get them to freeze?
yeah, or
Okay.
just shake him. Yeah, get
Okay.
him to be shaken or frightened.
Because, my friend, you are blocking the exit.
Oh.
There is no exit.
This is a you're trapped in here with me.
It is a 10 total.
10 total. Are they spooked? Absolutely, but they're ready to throw hands.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that.
All
And
right.
that will be everything on my turn.
Cool. Arteloth, go.
Okay, so I am going to use all. We're gonna try to count out. I'll use all 30 of mine to try and get in.
I guess you could get here.
Yes, technically.
Okay, then I will stand there.
Okay, so
And-
you're just completely blocking the way?
That's what I've got.
All right. So on their turn, go ahead and scooch up towards you. They're going to make an attack.
Bring it on.
They are going to hit,
Dang it. Don't bring it
Ask and
on.
you shall receive.
and they're going to do 7 more points of slashing
To
damage.
me, okay.
Yes.
Oh, to
Cool.
you.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh, no. All right. So we have now hit the point where someone has 0 hit points. It is at this stage where, on that person's turn, they're going to have to do something called death saves. Now, you need 3 successes, 3 failures. This will determine your fate if you're not stabilized by some force. On a roll, you're just rolling a straight d20. A natural 1 is 2 failures. A natural 20 is an automatic success with 1 hit point. Anything above a 10 is 1 success. Anything below a 10, aside from the natural 1, is 1 failure.
What if
But
you
it-
roll exactly a 10?
If you roll exactly a 10, I believe it still counts as a failure, just because of the percentile. So, you're dropped?
Oh, and John, do you add anything to a death save?
Nope. It's just
Fate.
It's a straight dice roll.
the Senate will decide your fate. So, it is,
Nervous laughter.
with this scimitar, you can see this like smug grin of, Clark will surely promote me for this, which is what you hear.
Clark.
Sven,
Clark.
it's your turn.
Well, do I actually see what's going on right now, or do I just hear a scuffle?
you just hear scuffle and some screams.
Okay. Well, a natural reaction is to protect me. So,
The most important.
That's fair.
Yeah.
so as my action, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
What that's going to do is going to add 3 to my AC. Cast that. So my AC is now 15.
Magic man.
It also activates my Arcane Ward, which gives me, at this level, 5 temporary hit points.
Yes.
Ooh.
That would have been
At
nice.
level 1?
Level 1, it's
Level
proficiency
1.
plus int.
Wizards are
Intelligence.
so dumb.
They're actually very smart.
Wait,
The
no. It
intelligence
does
on
not
that.
activate this. I get that ability at level 2. Never mind.
Oop.
Up.
Yep. So I do not get that ability. I just
After
have
you've
the
been
major.
playing for a while,
Yes.
it does sometimes meld together. Are you doing any movement?
I am going to move after I cast the spell. Before I see the scenario, I'm going to move into just get a visual of
I
what's
guess
going on.
here you could kind of see the.
No, that thicket's
Maybe
going to
one
block the
more
way,
there?
and then you'll be in the way.
But I will just to see like my party.
You can see the situation.
That's
but
what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you're at.
And in doing so, that's going to be all I do. I don't have any bonus actions right now that I want to do.
All right, we're back to Nika.
So
Can I flank with a downed body?
You cannot.
No. You'd have to
regret to
heal me
inform.
first.
Oh, I guess I could set that up. I think I want to see at least one death save, so I'm going to go.
Wow.
I hear you coming up behind, so I'm going to kind of.
You're like, it'll be fine.
as I come around, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm going to position myself here with a thicket behind me and just bring the axe down once more. Just a straight roll. 12 plus 5 is 17.
That hits.
And we're going to roll that whopping d12 again because orc. And that is going to be 9 points of damage.
So the slash comes down through. He's still standing. And hanging on, just making full eye contact with you.
That makes me so mad.
The audacity.
I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay. I was about to say, you're definitely engaged, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So then, Artaloth, D20. See what we got.
First death save. of the
18.
game.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
One success.
Let's
There we go.
go.
So at this point on their turn, assuming that they're not stabilized or at the end of combat doesn't happen and then someone stabilizes them, they have more rolls. They would need 2 more successes, but hey, you've got some initial buffer.
So on those successes, what happens if you roll a natural 20?
Automatically back with
okay.
1 hit point. So you're fully stabilized. Luck is on your
Critically
side.
stabilized.
Now, inversely, what happens if you roll a natural 1?
2 failures.
2 failures
2
automatically.
failures. All right. So on Goblin's turn, gonna go and take a whack-a-mole. Engaged in combat, that's gonna be 4 points of slashing damage
guy's
as it gets
annoying.
right into a little bit of like your shoulder pad. You can hear like a crick and a small little fissure. All right, Sven, it's your turn.
I see this and I immediately start casting Ray of Frost
Okay.
towards the goblin. Since seeing Nika move out of the way and kind of give me a clear line.
Yep.
I'm just going to send the spell towards it.
Yep, perfect.
So D20. Is that a? That's a 7. 7, 12.
12, it just flies right past the head and just
okay.
barely misses.
Magic man!
In that case, I'm gonna go forward. I'm actually gonna get and try to interject myself between the goblin and Ardaloth, if possible.
Is this bravery happening?
Okay. Do you have like a second action to do that?
Just movement. Oh no, not to move Ardaloth. I just want to be. I guess I'll be next to
Standing
Ardaloth.
on top, like over their body.
That works.
Can I
Kind of
like,
sharing the space.
shuffle them around with a bonus action? A little bit.
No, because you were
Hey,
focusing so
wake
much
up.
on the casting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I said, if you can justify it typically, but we try and have a little bit of realism.
So you're still in range of the attack, but I
You're
But
at
I-
least
yeah.
in the way.
I would say the AC to hit you would be higher.
Okay.
Because an enemy can target a downed person, causing them to automatically have failed saves.
It's mean, but it's possible.
Boy, is it. On that note, Nika, it's your turn.
All right. And seeing the flank set up with the magic man, I mean Sven, I'm going to go ahead and make another axe and be, this ends now. All right, with advantage, that's going to be an 18.
That
to
hits.
hit.
Nice.
And I get to, I don't get to re-roll ones yet. That was level 5, but I do 4 points of damage
I was about to say 1 is all they had left. Just hand it back to that
Oh,
goblin
man.
token, if you please.
Nice. Yeah, I keep looking at my
Same.
spells, but like I can project barriers. I can't project
you.
barriers yet.
I aim the axe.
I really wanted to deflect missiles.
I aim the axe in such a way that as much gore and blood sprays on Sven.
Oh dear.
Just to like,
You have
thanks
to
for,
roll that beautiful beam footage.
yeah.
So, from this point, you're in a situation where Ardalos will consider you stable.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to let an
That's
aid
so
action
nice.
be, because at this point, you're at the cave mouth. Now, what happens when you venture inside? We'll figure out next time. That's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time where, oh, don't worry, we've got much more about D&D to talk about.